bitches. Welcome to Previewed, where friends don't let friends review movies alone.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Jay.
And today we're going to react review. And at the end we're going to recommend Fast 10. No, Jay, this time the question mark is actually warranted.
I agree. I 1000%
Last time
agree.
you're just like, hey, everyone's going to go see Guardians 3. Like, you're right, everyone is. But like, no, this time it's like, no, wait a second, should you go see Fast 10? I don't know. Jay? What did you think of Fast 10? Fast X. Fast X.
Okay. I was a little 50-50 on this movie.
Okay.
Look, we all love our friends, our fast friends.
Yeah.
We love them.
Love the family.
And honestly, if you just want to see your friends, show up and see your friends do rad cool stuff again, this movie's great. The action is absolutely insane.
It's bonkers.
They continue to push the envelope further and further and further. So from that perspective, hell yeah. Just like you can turn your brain off and watch the bomb roll through Rome and have a wonderful time. I'm not spoiling anything. That was
in the trailer.
In the trailer.
Yep.
I can't remember his name right now. The villain.
Oh, Dante.
Yes,
Dante
but
Reyes
the
or something?
actor.
Oh, Jason Momoa. My man!
Jason Momoa, I think gives a truly enigmatic performance. His villain is very, very fun to watch. He really relishes on getting these guys. The other 50-50, however, is that I think the plot just kind of meanders, and we're just in certain places for certain reasons, and we kind of check in with everybody in a way that feels like we never quite land in this movie anywhere in a way that I find frustrating.
Well, this is part 1 of 2. This is the big...
Well, it's part 1 of 3 now, apparently. That's what they're telling us.
Wait, what?
That's the word on the street, is that this is going to be a trilogy now.
Whoa! Big T, time out. When did that happen?
Yeah, I can double check that, but that's what everyone's talking about on Discord. Yeah, Fast X director teases part 2 and addresses the possibility of a trilogy. While it seems that Vin Diesel confirmed that a trilogy is planned, those plans can change. It appears that Fast X Part 3 is planned.
Okay, well, since that, we're going to grain of salt that. Because that's, as of right now, the plan was 2. So we're just thinking about that right now.
Yes.
Okay, because that's what's confirmed. That's what the plan is as it stands right now.
So, I guess to wrap up this segment, what I recommend this movie, yeah, it's a good time. You're going to have fun. I really enjoyed Fast 9.
Yes.
And I thought Fast 9, like, storyline and structurally, like, it had, like, kind of an ironclad, like, story to me. Mm-hmm. And I expected this one to kind of, like, continue that trend. And this one, to me, I was just like, why were certain characters even in this movie? But that being said, the main, like, the Dom versus Dante stuff is really, really fun. All of the stuff with Michelle Rodriguez, like Letty's character, that stuff was interesting.
Yes.
All the other stuff, really don't care. Just kind of, if you can turn your brains off a little bit, or even if you're not interested in seeing this movie right out the gate and you want to wait for the second one to come out so you can watch the entire thing. Do you know what this movie is to me?
Is how I view Dune 1?
Yes, but, and I'm continuing that thought, this movie is peace talks.
This movie is peace talks from the Dresden Files.
From the Dresden
If you guys
Files.
haven't read Dresden Files, hey, Summer Reed, you can read all 17 of them that are out,
They're
15.
incredible.
They're so good.
They're so fun.
Join us
They're
in the
just
cult
fun.
of Dresden.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Read them all. Well, most of them are pretty good. Some of them are like, oh, that's all right.
Ghost Story,
A lot
you
of them
can
are
skip.
like, yeah, Ghost Story. A lot of them are just like, yes. It's Peace Talks, which, by the way, Peace Talks was a big. It was the last 2 recent books. It was Peace Talks and Battlegrounds,
Which was one huge
It's
story.
one big story, but they cut into 2 books.
And the first book just doesn't, it's great and there's a lot of fun stuff. It just doesn't feel
Doesn't
complete.
give you that. Yes, because it's not done. It's kind of it's Matrix Reloaded.
Yes.
It's like I mean, parts of that were really fun, but like, why did? I don't feel this wasn't a movie. This wasn't like an Empire, which is an actual full second chapter.
Like, at the end of the day, you're going to get your money's worth with this film. From an
Yes.
action perspective, you get the goods.
Yes, you do. Absolutely. I will agree with Jay. There were some parts where we were all over the place a little bit. Honestly, I loved this movie. because it was so nanoboats crazy, and we checked in with all our friends, and it was like, this is all really insane, but really like I'm choosing to not care about this story because it's nanoboats. The story is so nanoboats because it's the biggest thing they've ever done. No other Fast and Furious movie has been a two-parter. It's all been contained in about 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh no, the first couple movies were closer to 90, and then when we did the marathon, we realized that the later films after 5 started getting longer and longer and longer and longer. You definitely need to turn your brain off a little bit with this one because it's like I'm just, you know what? I'm choosing to go along for this ride. This is a little nuts. That car should have exploded. Whatever. It's okay. This is just fun.
So go and have a good time, and and don't question it too much. And I think you'll have a great time.
But yeah, just know you're gonna probably walk out of the theater like that was fun, but because all the things you're looking for in a movie isn't there yet.
Because if you really question really why Dante is really doing what he's doing to some extent, it just feels a little like it does not have the gravitas that I would assume a finale sequence would have.
Okay.
To me personally.
Sure.
I have reached the boundaries of me being able to talk about this movie without spoiling things.
Absolutely. So yes, we do recommend it. Maybe you watch it right now. Maybe you watch it closer to when the second one comes out. Or maybe if there's a third one, maybe you watch it when that comes out. But either way, it's a fun time. But yeah, it's not a complete story, which is a little frustrating. But otherwise, it's great. Okay, spoilers!
Spoilers!
You have been warned. There are a lot of the stuff's been shown in the trailer. Some stuff wasn't, but a lot of this was shown in the trailer, so it's not too much of a spoiler.
I don't understand why Tej and Roman. I don't understand why they're in this movie. Full stop. They don't need to be in this movie. It really, they are all of the worst scenes of this movie.
Well, the Pete Davidson scene's the one scene I'd get rid of in this movie.
I actually thought there was some
bad.
fun. There was actually some things that got close to funny in that, but there was a lot of Tej and Roman scenes where I was like, they forgot how to write these characters 4 movies ago, and it really bothers me. It really bothers me that if you go back to Too Fast, Too Furious. Tyrese is hilarious and enigmatic and very good in those movies, and he has become the butt of the joke over the course of these movies, which is fine if there are good jokes. They haven't written him there was one good joke in this movie for him, and that was it. And I'm so frustrated. The sequence, Jay has a tendency to get a little droopy-eyed sometimes, and you're like, when they reconnect with Jason Statham, and it was like, I got a little droopy-eyed, and you're like, what are you doing? And I was like, we could have gotten Jason Statham back in the picture without other ways. And then he's like, all right, we gotta go, and then packs a bag, and they're like, where are you going? He's like, to do stuff.
To dig some graves.
And I'm like, what does that even mean? Where are you going, homie? We haven't given you a location. You're just getting in your car?
To save his mom. You know where his mom is. Don't you know where your mom is at all times?
Bro, they arrive in the plane and they're like, we're here to help. And I'm like, why? How? Where are you going to land that plane?
So Jay is ramped up. Jay is hit the NOS button right now. What you're saying is that the B storyline of...
I would say they're the C storyline. Letty and Cypher are the B.
Okay, so the C storyline with everyone's favorite Han, our hacker girl who
Han did absolutely nothing in this movie.
Not yet.
Han has done nothing.
Not yet, but his time's coming. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. Ludacris and Tyrese just didn't have anything to do.
No, which would have been fine if you're writing a 2-part movie. You can have them do that opening...
The Rome mission.
The Rome mission, and have it go sideways. Yeah. That was actually very interesting.
Yes.
And it was like, what Rome mission? We didn't send them on anything. And they're like, oh no, that was great.
Yes.
That was really good. Mm-hmm. And then once they weren't needed anymore, we could have focused on the other stuff that was going on. Because if you're gonna just, a lot of this stuff was Dom on his own doing Dom things. Mm-hmm. And that's fine.
Letty on her own doing Letty things.
But just stop pulling back to these 3 characters that I actively didn't
They didn't move the story.
They didn't move the story. They were just responding to things that were happening as they were happening. Hell, just put them in jail for the second part of this movie. They all got captured. That's fine.
They could have gotten out of the container ship in London and realized that we need help, and then Han's like, oh crap, I do know somebody in London who owes me a favor because he killed me, and then he just rolls up to Shaw.
Yeah.
And then we just cutting out all that other stuff in London
Yes.
And then we just get to that point.
Yes.
Speaking of jail, hey.
Letty got sent to Hogwarts. Not Hogwarts, Azkaban. Black Site Prison and the magical walls. I actually love that. So I was like, that's so stupid.
Because here's the thing.
They have laser surgery in that place too.
Yes. Because here's the thing.
Oh my god.
Here's the thing. And I think it was the prison. No, it was okay. Here's the thing. The first 4 Fast and Furious movies, like, okay, these are pretty good. I'm glad they're still doing them. This is kind of fun. Then Fast 5 hits, and which is what this movie is based off of. The ramifications of 5 is like, oh, they're upping the game a little bit. This is a little bit crazy. They couldn't actually pull that safe, but this is fun. Yeah. And then ever since then, everything's been just rising. Like this is getting much bigger. This is getting crazier. This is getting crazier. This is getting crazier.
I'm gonna hold on to a thought.
Okay, hold on to a thought. And then we had the Hobbs and Shaw spinoff, and it was like, oh, we have a rogue AI, element, techno cult that's trying to kill everybody. It's like, okay, that's kind of crazy, but I'm still having fun, and it's pushing the envelope, not the farthest, but okay. But then in this movie, even in 9, it was like, okay, Cypher's doing Cypher stuff. She's crazy. Jacob's got a plan on it. Works for stuff. Okay, cool. But it still kind of felt like, for the most part, kind of like maybe a pinky toe grounded.
Yeah.
This movie, when Brie Larson walks in to the Cerebro with Reacher, and just a bunch of screens pop up, like when Fury was talking to the ghost council or whatever, like, I'm going to activate the Avengers, like, no, I'm going to do it, and Fury's like, we're doing it anyways. It's like, okay, this is... They also gave us... Man,
this
is weird.
When it turns out that, Reacher's working with Dante, they gave us, a 15-second, I'm the bad guy now, and we're all... And I said out loud, I was like, that's not that big of a twist.
It's not that big of a twist.
I was like, what are you doing? I was like, we kind of really didn't trust that guy anyways.
Nope.
So what? This is not.
It wasn't that big of a twist.
They set this up as a bad guy from jump.
He did? Yeah.
It was
I'm going after Dom and his family.
And why did they put Brie Larson in this movie just to kill her?
She's not dead.
Oh, she got shot. I mean,
in the shoulder. She got shot in the shoulder.
Yeah, but it's I don't know. It just was like, why is it really because Kurt Russell was busy? Was that really it? Okay. The thought that I was holding on to.
So there's that, right? And it's like, okay, they're just talking to him. No, this is getting too. And then Letty's in Azkaban.
Yeah.
With the laser doors and the things that are this is why? Okay, black site in Antarctica. Okay, this is too far. Just now the pinky toe has left the ground. Okay, now this is just magical fun at this point.
Those are the times that I feel like I can kind of reach out and touch this movie a little bit more.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know, when it's just completely off the wall. Well, when Mr. Nobody would joined the
show up to give them missions for movies.
When the Ghost Protocol stuff entered the mix, these movies have lost any semblance of reason. That's them jumping the shark, in my opinion. Is when Mr. Nobody shows up.
I mean, I felt like they did a decent enough job with transitioning from let's steal DVDs to let's work as rogue agents for the government.
But here's the thing. What frustrates me is that I feel like that involvement and that situation, because it elevated and pushed the envelope from a story perspective and the grand ramifications of everything that they were doing, I feel like that should have been way more heavily involved in what's going on in this movie simply because it's the finale.
Sure.
Do you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I was like, cool, your actions have consequences, and it's yeah, but the person that's really mad about that was from the 5th movie before any of this other stuff started. So but also, if this was from the 5th movie, what took this guy so long?
Well, he had to build up resources in an army, and apparently he was unconscious for a while, and they had to track down Cypher and stuff.
Sure.
But also, you're right. But also, you're not wrong.
I just feel like he should have been the 7th or 8th movie, not the 10th movie.
I see what you're saying.
If anything, I think... And I guess it frustrates me because I thought 9 was right in the sweet spot of what they were, of where everything was, whereas this feels like we're muddying the water with the the world's like the whole franchise has changed since then. So like bringing back this bad guy from a previous time just doesn't really fit the narrative that we were growing to. And also you gave us John Cena and you gave us a wonderful ninth movie, and then now John Cena's on the team, and then this movie is just going to outright kill him. I'm really frustrated by that.
Well, that was a touching moment.
It was great.
But I will say this, because of what happens at the end of the movie, I feel like maybe he's not dead. Because this movie really, like, I know all the other movies have, and we've been making jokes for this about years at this point, but like it really felt almost like, does every fifth sentence really need to say family in it? Because they were really, truly just shoving it down our throats of
man.
like
Family.
It's like, guys, I know that's the superpower of the movie, but like we already know.
He's built this little family, and we got to get the family.
We got to get that Dom's family. We're going after Dom's family. It's just like it just felt like like you don't have to keep saying
Let's go chop down a tree. What kind of tree? A family tree.
The action in this movie is fantastic. The action scenes are a lot of fun. Han's group, as they're like lost on the planet trying to figure out and get away from everything, just kind of felt like a little.
It just was.
As compared to Letty and Azkaban and Dom dealing with Dante.
Yeah, Letty
and
and Cypher fighting their way out of that prison is fun.
Yeah,
and that team up is actually pretty interesting to me. Like, and I'm down with that. I don't know why they would leave a touchscreen controls right next to her hand on a thing with.
Yes.
And how she was able to just like pump toxin into the.
Yes.
So stupid.
Yes.
But I don't.
But it's little things like that. It's like it just seems like, you know what, we just need to do this now.
Yes.
And we're writing the script. We just need this to happen. So this is happening because we just have to go.
Yeah.
It's just little things like that. It's like, okay, this is the 10th movie. We get it. Okay. Yep, you're right. Let's just go. Woo!
Yeah.
We're having fun. Because I don't think that they probably wouldn't have done that in an earlier movie.
All this being said, you had a blast at this movie.
Oh, I loved this movie. But like there was constant times and the movie was just being like, okay, that's too far. Choosing not to care. Yay! Woo! Also, I really enjoyed Brie Larson in this movie.
I did too.
God, she was
I
so
did too,
much
but
fun.
they didn't give her enough.
They didn't, but what they did give her was like, oh, you know what? I really like her.
And the dialogue was so confusing. Her scene with Jack Reacher was so confusing to me.
When they're in the Cerebro.
Oh yeah.
Agency
So confusing.
Cerebro, whatever.
I was like, so what's actually going on? Who are you? Who are you? Who are both of you? What's going on? But also, like, I guess I can read from some context clues as to what's going on. But like, you guys are both talking very cryptically and not in like a purposeful way. In like this saw the writer's room for like 15 minutes and then we moved on. I just feel like if you're gonna make a move into Brie Larson being the new Mr. Nobody, I feel like you make that move in the 9th movie and then have it come into the 10th movie.
Well, that's the thing though. Like her brother, the guy who was mini nobody or whatever, the Eastwood kid, like he's not dead. He jumped out of the car before it blew up in Rome. He jumped out and rolled on the ground a little bit, but then we didn't see him again. But he was alive, but not in the movie anymore. But then Brie Larson's like, okay, a little nobody, because that's your dad. Like, oh, what happened to the Eastwood kid? No, he's not gonna. But he's alive. He didn't die. Okay.
Stop thinking about it.
I did. I stopped thinking about it.
Yeah.
Let's move into the end of the movie.
Yeah, Adam lost his mind.
I lost my mind. Why would I lose my mind? Well, if you guys really want to know, you should listen to or watch our Fix It episode that we did on Thanksgiving, where Jay and I pitched spin-offs of the Fast and Furious movies. It was a lot of fun.
The link to it is right there. Go click it. It's actually a great episode.
It's a great episode. It's a lot of fun. My fix in particular. Apparently, I was right. I was right. I did a very good job being right in my fix, because at the very end of the movie, right before they go to credits, Giselle's alive. How, we'll find out later. But she's just like, "Hi, I'm here in a submarine.
I'm in a submarine.
I'm here to save you from Antarctica. I don't know how, and I don't care, because all I want is for Giselle and Han to get to Japan and be happy.
I don't
forever.
Just
be happy, race cars.
To be 1,000% honest, I find it very frustrating that they're bringing her back from the dead. It was one thing they've been pushing with Han's character, that like he really searched for her, and like him losing Giselle was like he kind of like lost his compass a little bit, and it's been such a large part of his character, and it's been very interesting to watch. Just bringing her back to me feels like really like they're just kind of like cutting off all of Han's like progress at the knees a little bit. But that being said, make Giselle a robot. Make Giselle a robot. Please make Giselle a robot. Oh, that'd be wonderful. If we had an android Giselle, that'd be great. I'd love that. And this movie franchise can make that happen.
Etion basically made Idris Elba a robot.
Yeah.
So that was
Oh,
amazing.
that'd be how they. Yeah. It's gonna be like
Jay, did you not remember my fix?
Not really.
I remember yours.
Yeah, it's hard to forget.
So that's the end
Too
of the
fast,
movie.
too ludicrous. Come on, man.
Don't say the rest of it. Don't spoil it for him. Don't spoil it for him. Seriously, it's a fun episode to watch.
It's maybe one of our best.
It's really funny. It's very funny.
And it's one of our least watched.
It really is. It's kind of the reason why I'm like, hey, I think he deserves a little bit more attention. It's a lot of fun. He did a good job.
See, that's why you've been talking about it. You just want credit for having called this.
But also, it's a good episode.
No. I know. But you just.
I also would like, hey,
Yeah.
I think I did a good job.
Your movie was actually, and I said it in the episode. Your
did.
movie was actually just like we could, considering how much forethought goes into this script writing process. Your fix could go to production, like today.
Well, not today. There's a writer strike going on, but I'd be a scrub, but eventually, when it's over, you got it. But here's the other thing. That is not the end of the movie.
Be a scab, not a scrub.
And we don't like no scrubs, Jay. No, not a fan
Scrubs
of
are the guys who get no love from us.
That's right.
Here
They
at
don't.
Preview.
Here at Preview. If
Here
there's
at
one thing you
Preview.
know about us, it's we don't like no scrubs.
What were we talking about?
The actual end of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
The mid-credits scene. When the movie starts, you see what who the bad guy is and what he's up to and where he's coming from. It's like, okay, yeah, this is cool, but like, there is one thing missing because like there was a whole other character and Elena is brought up in this movie because her sister shows up. Like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, everyone's coming. Everybody or any who's still
Yeah.
currently alive can come back.
Even
Brothers and
characters
sisters.
I have aggressively
Everybody.
forgotten about.
Yes, everyone's coming back. Wait a second, there is somebody missing, but I get it. They should. I mean, they're not going to be in this movie because like real life circumstances. But and the movie shows up, and The Rock's back as Hobbs, because he's now under threat, and so is his family. And I was like, oh, well, I can't believe they did what they needed to do. If that was backing up a truck of money, so be it. But The Rock is back in a Fast and Furious movie.
I think
I was truly surprised.
I was too. You're telling me that a person is trying to get vengeance for what happened on that bridge, and he has all of the capability of doing so. He has the God's Eye, and you're telling me that they're one character who they decided not to actually kill off in this franchise, but keep alive and away, which I thought was interesting, nice when they did
touch,
do it.
yes.
But, and I brought this up when we were leaving the movie, and Adam was like, "Well, we don't know what's going on with them." I'm like, so it's just implied that like Brian is out there somewhere getting terrorized, and no one's there to help him.
Well, Mia's there. She kicks a lot of ass. Yeah, but you're right. But what do you do? Like,
But what do you do? I know.
It's
I know.
an
What do you
impossible
do?
situation.
I think you just
because they did a decent enough job when the real life tragedy happened and the movie wasn't done filming yet, and they had his
they
brother
could have just
for the
included
end of
one
it.
line of like of them being like, "He's the God's Eye. Do you think you can find Brian?" It's like, look, we can't even find Brian. Like we had the God's Eye and we couldn't find him.
Just
That's it. That's
Brian
it.
and Mia are very good at dropping off the map.
Like they are completely off grid. It's just something to that effect because I couldn't stop thinking about it. I was like, are we gonna see? I was like, are they gonna like pull some deep fake stuff again? Which I'm gonna be honest with you, I wouldn't hate.
You wouldn't hate?
No.
You'd be okay with that.
I
honestly don't know where I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest.
I think what's
Because if
the name
everyone's-
of the actors again?
Paul Walker.
Paul Walker, because we always called him Paul Walker, not Brian.
We
his
did.
name is Brian.
Yes, Brian is a stupid.
And you notice how they always call the kid Little B because
Yeah.
they don't want to
They don't
call
wanna
him
call him
Brian
either.
because it's
Yeah,
a stupid name.
Brian's a stupid name.
Producer Brian, we love you, but it's
That's why
for an action star, it's a stupid.
That's
name.
why we knife Brian's here. if you know a previewed brand of anything, it's one we don't like no scrubs.
Team Knife Brian.
We're Team Knife Brian. Those scrubs
I
names
think
are
Paul
Brian.
Walker would want to be in he helped build this franchise. Man.
You're right. I
This
don't
franchise
know.
wouldn't exist without.
You're
everyone's
right.
like it wouldn't exist without Vin Diesel. I'm like, I would argue that it wouldn't exist without Paul Walker because he's the one that made the second one, not
You're right.
Vin Diesel.
You're right.
Like he's the franchise.
I don't he's part of the franchise. I don't know. It's a sticky wicket.
You know, I'm just gonna see that Subaru pull up and be like, "Go against Brian, baby!"
I mean, everybody else is coming back for this movie. They're finding a way to write everybody else in.
I just got really emotional because here's the thing. Here's how you can include Brian in the finale. There's like this badass car chase towards the end, and like blah blah blah, and like everything's like going sideways, and then you just see this like Subaru like just zoom up with just like the tinted out windows, and just like saves the day. You could have him in car form save the day,
Sure.
and he drives off, and nobody knows who that was. And Venom's like, I know who it was.
It was Razor X.
Razor X.
I don't know how I feel about it.
So, yeah, I feel like
I can see it in both sides. I think it'd be cool, but also at the same time, like, but also, I don't know.
I just don't think it would be disrespectful because I think Paul Walker would want that to happen.
Maybe.
And I think it'd be a nice homage to the Walker family. Of like, you know,
even though he's gone, he's still here in the end.
Yeah.
And he helped save the day.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting emotional talking about it. And these are movies that I like don't... It's so funny. Truly, these movies I have such a love-hate relationship with.
Really?
I can fully admit that they're like kind of dog water, but I just like it when little cars go fast.
Yeah, they keep finding cool things to do with cars. That bomb scene in this movie was great.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a neutron bomb that's like an underwater mine or whatever. That I was like, oh, sure, I'm gonna go blow up the Vatican.
Yeah, man.
Oh, great. Yep.
Yeah, remember when Dom Toretto saved the Pope from being neutron bombed?
Water can cut it down by 10 times its lethality. Sure. Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Cool, man.
The bomb's round. Here we go. We're
Oh,
having
man,
fun.
hope you don't get caught and sent to Azkaban. All right. Then Dementors are going to get...
That hard cut to the doors just unfolding from the wall. We laughed. There was maybe 7 people in our theater. And I really
we saw it, Friday at like 2 p.m.
Yeah, but it was an early showing. But like, I really hope we didn't ruin other people's enjoyment of the movie because we laughed so hard with the film, but we laughed so hard.
No, but here's the thing. I think people can read subtext from across the room. That we were laughing with the movie, not at it.
We were not laughing at the
like
movie.
there were moments where like shit would happen and we'd be like, woo! Like, you know, we were good. We were involved. But sometimes there were some scenes where I was just like, that's what he just said. That's what he decided to say right now. Okay. Find the line.
Feel the car. Family.
Jump out.
Jump. Little B. Jump. That kid is gone. That kid is tumble.
Yeah, that kid's getting Jamba Juice by I-95. Just.
Whoa.
But he did it. He has his dad's superpower, which is flying out of cars. Flying in and out of cars.
I guess so, yeah. So yeah, go see the movie. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
It's fun.
I think this will, much like Dune, will be better when both parts, all 3 parts, I don't know, are completed. Because
I think
this is probably gonna be.
I think a
this is gonna
trilogy
be
is
nanner boards.
such a huge mistake.
Yeah, I think we just get everybody together, defeat Dante, giant barbecue. Everyone's there. Everyone's happy. Jacob rolls back in because surprise. I don't know how, but he's John Cena, man. You didn't see him leave because he's so big. You were distracted by the explosion. You didn't see him. He pulled a Han. If Mr. Nobody can get Han out of an exploding car.
He flipped his car upside down and it was loaded with maybe a full ton of explosives. If they try to convince me that he's not dead, I'm going to have a hard time. But also, who cares?
The Torettos deserve a happy ending.
Yes, they do.
After all the things they've done.
And how?
Well, have you guys seen this movie? Let us know in the comments below. Also, I don't know if you guys are aware of this. You probably are, but Jay and I are very busy making a lot of things.
We make a lot of stuff. Guys, check out all of our links below. You can join our Patreon, where we have a full watch-along of literally everything we've ever made on YouTube. There's a staggering amount of stuff there. Also, hey, check out our link to our podcast that we've been talking about during this episode. We fix all sorts of stuff across the internet. Our episode next week is going to be us doing live-action Disney episodes, and it may be one of my favorite fixes that I've ever written. It's really, really fun. Definitely check it out. Also, check out our We Write a Fast and the Furious spin-off movie, because it's one of our best episodes. Not as watched as others. Check that out. Also, you can check out the link to Preview Gaming, where Adam is playing through Jedi Survivor right now. And you can watch...
Tonight.
Tonight?
This is coming out today.
Oh, that's right.
You are currently streaming Fall Guys with the Peaches, right?
Yeah, you can check out my Twitch stream link down below. We're doing Community Day. We're playing Fall Guys with all of our Discord community, which is always so much fun. And then tonight, you're streaming Jedi Survivor over on Preview Gaming, which those links are down below. Guys, we're doing a ton of stuff. We'd love you to be a part of the community. Join the Discord as well. It's the best community on the internet. The Peaches are truly amazing folks, and come hang out.
Please and thank you.
Hit those buttons for a butt ton of content.
But before you do, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell.
Do that YouTube that you do so well. Guacamole's extra. You car flipping weirdos, you.
Other video is right here.
Yeah.
Please watch this. We would appreciate it as much as we appreciate you watching this one. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.